Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Forza Horizon 5 Let's Go. Now this series is all about road racing, so you should all be prepared to break speed records with a plethora of GT cars joining the Horizon Festival this month. So let's dive straight in and see what the Apex Allstars series has in store for us during today's show. First up, we'll start by walking you through all the events and all the rewards that you can earn in this month's festival playlist. Next, we'll drive around in some of the high-performance reward cars this series, including looking at this month's brand new car pack. We'll follow that up with our EventLab of the month spotlight. And for our EventLab builders, we're going to be revealing some highly requested new props coming your way in this update as well. And lastly, we're going to wrap up by giving you a sneak peek at what's to come next month. All right, now please allow me to introduce our guests for today's show. First up, one of our most recurring live stream guests, it's game designer Joe Glasgow-Dine. Now, to keep up with our tradition of things, I want to know how you are and what you've been playing lately.
So I'm okay.
Good.
And I am still, not sure if I mentioned it last time I was on, I'm still playing Civilization 6. It consumes my life. I need help.
No, I think that's a perfectly adequate thing to be doing with your time. Do you have a favourite Civ that you're playing at the moment?
I like to kind of move through all of them. Japan's always a pretty strong one, but I like to mix it up a bit.
Interesting. Now, he was on the couch last month when we talked to him for the very first time, all about all sorts of interesting car trivia. So please welcome our guest with the longest job title, I believe, is Senior Vehicle Handling Designer, Michael Robson. How's it going and what have you been playing at the moment?
It's going very well, thank you. I'm still on Super Mario Wonder since last time. I mean, we did have Easter, so there was chocolate eggs involved, so they had to be eaten.
Surely that would have sped you up, energy, excitement and that?
I don't know, the crash after all those eggs is pretty bad.
It was a deterrent, okay, fair enough. I'm looking forward to speaking to you in a month's time when it's probably still the same game. Anyway, last but not least, it's fan favourite, I'm led to believe, vehicle director Chris Phillips is back with us on the couch. How are you and what have you been playing?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, it's good to be back. I'm currently playing Mud Runner Expeditions.
Wonderful. That came out recently, that one, didn't it?
Yeah. It's good. It's actually good, yeah.
Good. Glad you're enjoying it. We'll chat more on that later. Now, since we are all ready to go, why don't we kickstart today's show with some good old-fashioned festival playlists. Joe, you're going to walk us through it, right?
I definitely will, yeah. So we're going full-on Apex series this time. So we've got the Apex All-Stars. We can jump in here and have a look at the series tile. We've got some artwork and obviously the cars here. So for 80 points, we've got the Pro Stock Camaro. This is a drag monster. We'll jump into that later. And also we've got the Hot Wheels Trans Am for 160 points. That's returning. Let's jump through to summer, the wet season. So for 20 points, we've got the number 66 Ford GT. I'm not going to say the full names of these cars because it will take about half an hour. So we've got the Ford GT for 20 points. And we've got the Corvette Z06 2023 for 40 points, a nice car to come back as well. Now, the weekly challenges are actually all cars that have been featured on the Forza Motorsport covers.
Oh, lovely.
I thought that was a nice little touch.
A little Easter egg, that. Yes. What, an Easter egg you've told us about.
Yeah, I've given it away straight away. I've ruined the surprise. But anyway, so they're the cars that you can keep out for the weekly challenges. We've got some daily challenges for players to go through. And the Forzathon shop, let's jump into there and have a look. So we've got a new addition, maybe not in theming with the Apex series, but apparently this is Chris's favourite thing to race in when he goes to track days.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Game or in person?
Both.
Good answer.
So we've actually got kind of all the colours for the wrestling outfits throughout the Forzathon shops. So players can pick those up for the first time here. Let's jump back out. We've got Horizon Arcade. And so for the trials, I've kind of based them off racing series that players might have seen in real life. Kind of just taking inspiration from them. So the first one, it is 1960s Minis versus 1960s Mustangs. So I think there's a few that you can pick from in each category. And this is in B class. But also to keep it kind of with the high racing feel, in a similar way that we did with the Upgrade Heroes series, Chris and I worked together and we made some kind of pre-tuned rental cars. So if you jump into the series, you go to the trial and you're like, oh, I haven't got a rental, or I haven't got a car ready for this, you can jump over, pick the rental, and it'll be tuned up. So I think it might be one of the Mustangs, which is already tuned up to B700, and you're ready to go. So that is good. Let's jump over to the first EventLab of this the season, and this is by John Boy 1782, and it is Italia 458 racetrack. So this is like a built-up racetrack on EventLab Island. I actually played a really early version of this with John back on the mainland, and it was chaotic, to say the least. It was awesome, but chaotic. John's moved over to EventLab Island now and put loads of work into it, and it really shows. The highlight.
I want to see the chaotic version. Can we bring that one back?
Yes, that is quite an experience. But yeah, as players go around that, just keep an eye out for the big 458 sign that John's made. It is a highlight of that track. And then jump over, we've got one by Torqued Demons. This is Green River Grand Prix. This is in Retro Supercars and S1.
Ooh, yes,
So this is, it's only one lap of this track because it is quite a long circuit, but it's decorated really great, really vibrant, lots of greens, which is not too much of a surprise.
Yeah.
And there's also a little boost pad at the end, which did catch me out when I was testing this. So be careful of that. But
You're so kind to people, giving them all of these little tips. I wouldn't have told them that.
I just want them to have a good time. And then finally, we're onto one by Hans 12. This is Jungle Race Circuit, and it's in A-Class modern sports cars. So not only does Hans make some awesome liveries, but they make some really nicely laid out tracks, and this is no difference there. The racification is really great here. I've actually seen a few EventLab tracks use this same layout, kind of using the same roads, but this one just finished really nicely, so it was a good choice.
Lovely.
We've got the PR stunts. This is A-Class Track Toys, and then we've got a couple of seasonal championships. Let's move over. We've got a treasure hunt, the photo challenge, which is Vula Azul. The Eliminator is in for the first week, and then we've got some monthly arrivals. These are all kind of using some of the cars from the series. You might be able to spot some of the cars from the series awards and also the car pack that we'll go into later.
More information to come.
Yes, a little sneak peek, and then finally we'll finish off the week with the Rally Pack, PR Stunt and Seasonal Championship, and the Hot Wheels PR Stunt and Seasonal Championship.
Beautiful. Should we have a look at autumn?
Yes. So picking up with autumn, the storm season, we've got the number 98 Hyundai Elantra. This is for 20 points. And we've got the Alfa Romeo 155 for 40 points. That looks like a bit of a daily driver, but there is a very cool DTM style body kit that you can put on it, which definitely turns it into a brilliant race car. Let's jump over to the weekly challenge, and you can see again, it's one of the MOTORSPORT cover cars, the Ford GT. We've got the daily challenges and the Forzathon shop. We'll jump into this again.
Oh, what's the theme this week? Oh, I like that one.
Blue
Nice.
outfit and mask. I kind of paired them together so people can get them at the same time. And then let's jump back out. We've got the trial. This is in Porsche 911 GTs. Porsche Track Toys, sorry, in S1. And you win the Porsche 911 GT1. And again, there's a tuned rental for this, so if players jump in there, we've tuned up a rental for players to pick. We've got the first event lap of the week. This is, oh no, this must be a mistake. This is, I feel like Hoki Hoshi definitely shouldn't be in the playlist. How's he done this? No, I joke. We love Hoki, and this is actually a great track. This is a Red Bramble Raceway. This is a really nicely laid out track, decorated really beautifully. And I'll give him credit. He did do a good job. I give him a hard time in his stream, but I do love him really. So happy to see him in the playlist. We'll jump over to the second event lab. This is by Dakaris 29. This is Circuit de Mullahay. So this is like a tight technical track through Mullahay. So make sure you put on a grip build with your GT cars, because this is running GT and Super GT in A-Class. So go more grip for this. There is a shortcut in the track. I'm not sure it's actually a shortcut, it's just a different way. So I'm curious if people find that. And then finally finishing off with one by XR Cosworth 01. This is the Lodge Raceway. I sort of feel like a playlist isn't complete unless we have either a track by Josie or Cosworth.
For sure,
and it's Cosworth this time. So this is, like I said, the Lodge Raceway. It's a high-speed track. Super smooth to drive on, it's finished to a usual high standard that we expect from Cosy tracks. Let's jump over to the PR stunts. So this is in Super GT in S1 class. And then one seasonal championship that I'll point out, we've got Making History, which is using the Ford GT40, which I think you can buy in the Forzathon shop, and it is against the number 24 Ferrari P4, which you can actually win as a reward in Vroom Vroom Saloon. So
it's all connected.
It's all connected.
It's all
yeah,
there.
it's like we actually calculate the playlist and work it out. Yeah, and you can win, even more on top of that, you win the Ford GT17 in that, which is the car that you need for the weekly. So
oh, flipping heck.
giving it to you, there we go.
Wow, so impressive.
We've got and also another thing to mention about that, it's the Goliath for that race as well. We've got some of the finale races, so if you jump into that, expect a slightly long race, but it should be fun with those cars.
Worth it for the end.
Yes, definitely.
Sure.
We've got the treasure hunt and a photo challenge, a bit of a special reward for this. I think you might be able to see it on screen. It's a traffic cone outfit. Yeah, there we go. I mean, why wouldn't you dance like that in that outfit?
I mean, I don't think I've changed my outfit since day one. I like collecting them all, don't get me wrong, but that makes me want to change my outfit.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it's the dinosaur outfit or that one, which I'll be rocking, but maybe I'll mix it up between the two. And then let's finish off the week. We've got the monthly rivals, the Hot Wheels and Rally PR stunts and seasonal championships.
Wonderful. Winter it is now.
Yes. So for winter, the dry season, we've got one of my favourite cars this series. It's the number 1 Evolution Time Attack. Again, not saying the name of that car because it's...
I've been privy to the full one of that, and it's a long name.
Pretty chunky. And then also we've got an absolute Apex All-Star, the KTM Expo GT4. Yeah, great track car that one is for 40 points. Jumping over to the weekly, we've got the 2018 Porsche 911 GT2 RS. The daily challenges and the Forzathon shop. We might as well just jump in this one as well. This time we've got the green.
Blue and yellow mix.
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit
green?
more of a teal-y. I think we...
Let's settle for teal.
Yeah,
like
teal. And yeah, let's jump out and carry on. We've got Clio Clash. You can win the Bugatti EB110 and you'll run it racing in Renault Clios in B class. Again, like I said, a tuned rental for that one. We've got the first EventLab by a very well-known name, Twisted Knot. I think the last time we saw Twisted Knot was back in the Lunar New Year playlist with a very fun Turbine Raceway track that he'd done. And this time, equally as good quality-wise, he's got another track. It's quite tight and twisty, but he's a bit of a pro now when he's making these tracks, so you know it's going to be a hit, and I'm sure the players will love it.
I like that one.
We'll jump over to the second one of the week. It's by Pato Binsidi. I love Pato's tracks. They're always really good, and this is no change. It's a nicely laid out track, set kind of sunsetty nighttime. The visuals are great, and he's used a nice combination of both kind of in-game tracks and a section of his own EventLab pieces, and it's so smooth. I don't know how he does it, yeah, really, really nice. Let's jump over to the third one. This is by Master Lee 9. This is Kuros Circuit. This is Track Toys S1. This is like a coastal circuit set on the western side of the map. It's high speed in some sections and then kind of twisty and turny in others, so it's a good mix, and I'm sure players can get the most out of their track toys as they go around this circuit. You can see that on screen. And then we've got seasonal playground games, we've got some seasonal championships and the PR stunts. These PR stunts are in classic races in A class. We'll jump over, we've got photo challenge, we've got Horizon Open, and very fun collectible. This is the Podium Tank.
Nice.
This will be at the Apex Festival.
Oh, look at him.
Yeah, apparently Tank won a race.
What a champion.
I've seen him drive and he's awful, so I don't know.
Disbelief I heard on you then?
Yeah.
Tank can win anything.
If you say so. We've got the monthly rivals, obviously, and then finishing off, we've got the Rally Pack PR Stunt and Seasonal Championship, and the Hot Wheels PR Stunt and Seasonal Championship.
Lovely. Last but not least, we'll dip into spring.
Finishing off, we've got spring, the hot season, and as you can see, you've got for 20 points the number 92 Porsche RSR, And for 40 points, you've got the Mercedes-Benz SL65.
I like the spoiler on the back of that one. If there's anything anyone needs to know about me, is I love an obnoxiously large spoiler on the back of a car. I just think they're great. So.
Is that on any car?
Any car, it is
fathomably
possible to do it on.
Okay.
Yes. It just feels like a statement spoiler.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I mean, that is a pretty big one as well, so quite impressive. We'll jump over for the weekly. Players will recognise that car from the latest motorsport game. That's the 2024 Chevrolet Corvette E-Ray. And we'll jump over, we've got the daily challenges, and we've got the Forzathon shop. Might as well jump in for this one as well.
Oh, what stunning final variant. I like that.
Yeah, very nice. Pretty in pink players will be as they drive around in their pink wrestling outfits. And then finishing off, we've got MX-5 Drive. So this is running Mazda MX-5s in A-Class. These are always great for kind of tight, twisty tracks. And you win the Nissan GT-R 95 for that. The first EventLab of the week is by Speed Kings. I guess those 5s are S's.
I just want to say Speed King 555. 555.
This is Eagle Forest Raceway. So when I was looking up these tracks, there's actually a few different variations of this one, and I think this is the medium variant of it. It's really highly polished, nicely designed track. It's very tight and twisty, so again, go for a lot of handling. If players can recognise, I've actually gone for a lot of kind of race circuits that a lot of our players make for EventLab, so that's a bit of a theme this month. And then let's jump over to the next one by Dexter 4130D. So he might be featured twice in this stream, but this is the first time. So this is his Emerald GP. This is it's kind of like an extended version of the base game Emerald Circuit, but he's added some extra decorations. And like I said, it's an extended variant, so you've got like an extra bit at the end, and it is very nice to run.
Lovely.
Let's jump over. We've got Extreme Track Toys in S2 for the PR stunts for the week. We have got seasonal championships. So again, you spotted it in the weekly challenge, and this is here where you can win the Corvette E-Ray. We might mention it later, but the Corvette E-Ray has actually been added to the auto show as well.
Nice,
so
okay.
I think before it was a kind of reward for players who played the motorsport games, but now it's free for players to kind of jump in. Well, not free. You still have to pay. Sadly, I did protest, but yeah, you do have to pay. But if you don't want to pay, you can win it in this, which is the Colossus. So again, one of the finale races for the Apex series, but if you do that, you get the Corvette E-Ray. And we've got the Horizon Tour in for this week, a treasure hunt, a photo challenge, and finishing off, we've got the monthly rivals, the Rally Adventure PR Stunts and Seasonal Championships, and the Hot Wheels PR Stunts and Seasonal Championships. Stunning.
Thank you for that, Joe. Woo. Well done, and breathe. Loads of cool cars to look forward to in the festival playlist, so why don't we take one of them for a spin, take it out on the roads, and I think, I don't know, maybe we go for the 2016 Ford GT number 66 GTLM Le Mans. Off the top of my head, of course, unless anyone's got any other ideas. It's not a dictatorship in here.
No, I think that's a perfect idea.
Oh, I like you, Michael.
The main reason why I'm here for this stream, to talk about this car.
Of course.
It's one of my favourite cars, just any Ford GT, to be honest. So yeah, I'm really excited to have this car in the game. As I just mentioned, huge fan of them. So yeah, Ford wanted to win Le Mans again after 50 years of their first win in 1966. So they thought, okay, let's make a brand new car to do so. So this was kind of developed as a race car first, and then they kind of made it like road legal for the one that they needed to sell, because you need to sell a certain amount of road cars to be able to go racing with it. So yeah, I'm really excited for this car, and yeah, we got the number 66 to commemorate the first year that they won in 1966.
And they came back and won it, right?
They did win.
Oh,
they came first, third, and fourth.
Oh wow!
So not quite the 1, 2, 3 they got in 1966.
Still pretty good though, right?
It's good.
No, it's clear.
Wow.
It's clear.
Wow.
I'm not
Okay.
on these teams because to me that's pretty good, but I'm certain other people out there are fuming.
It's not quite what they were hoping, but they still beat Ferrari in second place, which is who they wanted to be in 1966 after they tried to buy Ferrari.
We love Ferrari.
Friends of the show,
we love
Ferrari.
Yeah.
We love Ferrari, but I do like Ford as well.
Whoa.
So you know,
can like all of them.
Yeah, I like all cars equally. So if you want to get some of that history, like Ford versus Ferrari is out there, it's a great film. But yeah, it's really interesting just how they built this car, and yeah, because it was built as a race car first, like it's very sleek, very low drag. a nice long wheelbase for stability, and it's very light. So
Good spoiler as well.
yeah, you said you like a spoiler, and I
Big fan of
think
this
this
one.
is probably one of the widest that you're going to
Ooh.
have. I think they can be as wide as the car in regulation,
Okay.
so it's just under that. But yeah, it's very similar to the actual road car. Even in looks wise, like 70% of the panels are the same, but obviously the wing and the massive diffuser at the back kind of make up a large portion of that 30%, which has been
Sure, yeah.
heavily modified. But it's really good to drive. Obviously, it's got race tyres on it, so loads of grip. Lots of downforce. Interestingly, not as quick as the road car, because the balance of power means the power is actually less than the road car by about 100 horsepower. But put this round any kind of lap, it's going to lap quicker just because of the cornering performance.
And is there a reason why it's your favourite car? What is it about this car, Michael?
I don't know, like, I think growing up I always had a thing for Fords, and this is like, Ford GT is like the ultimate Ford.
The peak. It's up there.
It's just the best, and every one that they've done, like 1966 or going to 2005, I believe that one, the second one was out, to this, I just think they really nailed all three of them, and I like that they have a nice common DNA running through all three of them, which they've
Lovely.
kind of continued that Ford heritage going forward.
We did a track day a little while ago when we were, and they bought one of the Ford GTs for us to go around in, and the standard car had insane amounts of grip, and I think the driver that we were with was kind of going a bit easy to think there's something that goes even quicker than that, and even more grip is insane. So yeah, this is pretty crazy.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you could join us to do this one. You're allowed to leave now if you want, but I'm obviously,
I've
going
got
to
it.
stop you
I've
because
gotta
we're going
stay
to have a
around
look at
apparently.
another car now, if that's right. If you could possibly unhand the car. We're going to move next into the 2013 Chevrolet Summit Racing Pro Stock Camaro, and Chris is going to have a go.
Yeah, let's have a look at it. As you say, it's a Camaro Pro Stock. So Pro Stock is a classification of drag racing. It's supposed to look like a standard road car. I'm kind of calling them out. It's
Honey, that doesn't look like a standard road
It's a bit
car.
different to a normal Camaro.
That's one of the most interesting looking cars I've ever seen. One of the most unique ones.
Yeah, so it's designed just to go in a straight line. So if I very
With
carefully...
a big jet engine thing in the middle.
one's
Doesn't
quite
matter that
different.
it
There we
blocks
go.
your screen too much.
You don't need to see, you just need to see forwards. That's all that matters, and only for 7 seconds.
On the edge.
So yeah, these things are very impressive. The regulations mean they can only have up to a 500 cubic inch engine, which for those of us in Europe, that's 8.2 litres. They spin at 10,000 RPM and make 1,400 horsepower with no all motor, as they call it, so no nitrous, no turbos. It's all normally aspirated power, which is insane. 1,400 horsepower from a normally aspirated engine is incredible. And most of the car is engine.
Most of the car is engine.
So there's a lot of engine there. But yeah, let's jump out of the auto show and drive it.
I want you to take us to a drag strip, please.
Luckily, there's one just around the corner from the auto show, so I don't have to drive it
We
very
are
far.
so good in this room, are we not?
So if I just carefully drive. So being a drag cars are designed to go in straight lines very, very fast. Turning, not so much a strength of them. So be very careful
Look how
getting into the
gently.
start.
I've never seen you drive so carefully before.
You can crash this car very easily.
Yeah.
I'm going to
But-
make you turn it after you've done this very first impressive bit, though, all right?
We'll do a lap in a minute.
Okay, good. Thank
But its real party piece is if we build up some revs and launch it,
you. Oh, yeah.
it's quick. So I believe the quickest Pro Stock quarter mile time is 6.45 seconds at around 200, I think it's 213 miles an hour, something like that. So do the math. That's 0 to 213 miles an hour in 6.45 seconds, which is just like, you can't even fathom performance like that. This is going to be the quickest drag car in the game, I believe. So for all those
okay.
players that love their drag racing,
I see some
go get
leaderboards
this thing.
changing.
Yeah, we have a name that people will recognise, AR12 Nick. He always, as soon as he gets cars, he will always do like a quarter mile drag in them. And I'm very excited, Nick, to see what time you can get in this.
Yeah.
I'll be watching.
Being Horizon, 1,400 horsepower, that's not enough.
No.
Right.
So you can give it, I think it's 17 or 1,800.
Ooh.
So that's enough. Yeah, I guess it's moving.
How does it perform around the track?
Yeah, let's see a corner, Chris.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll stay in cockpit as well, just so we can see where we're going.
Nice. Oh,
Can we
There's a
really see
corner over there.
these are the new meta lines. Just yeah.
Yeah, it pretty much picks up the front axle when you accelerate as well. So the minute you touch the throttle, it just goes straight.
I mean, you're doing okay at the moment. Oh,
Oh.
I mean, they were in the way
Well,
anyway.
let's
That's
let
fine.
it rip
Who
down
put
there.
those
They
there?
needed to move.
Yeah. Steady.
I didn't crash it. Didn't crash it.
Yeah, I mean, we're sort of going around the track.
But corners aren't what matter for this
No.
car. It's,
Yeah, exactly. There are plenty of other cars in the game if you would like to do a corner. Yes.
Yep. Speaking of which, it's a nice segue. To
Shall
the next
we?
one. Yeah.
Oh,
Should we have a
oh.
look at another car?
Go for it. So the next one on my list is the 2005 Mitsubishi #1 Sierra Enterprises Lancer Evolution Time Attack.
Whoa.
That long name that you didn't want to say earlier, Joe.
Yep.
I did it for
Just
you.
nailed it.
Because
Yeah.
I'm the better person. So why don't we have a look at it?
Maybe not quite as modest, but
Well, that's not what I'm here for,
Okay.
is it?
So there is the name.
There is the name.
Takes up most of the
Is
start
this
screen.
the biggest car name in the game, do you think? Hazard a guess?
there was one of the cars in the Too Fast pack. That was pretty long, wasn't it?
I think this might be the longest
Wow.
one. Yeah.
Ooh, just pipped it.
So yeah, the Sierra Evo. This is a bit of a nostalgia thing for me.
Okay.
So
We're doing fan
It's quite
favourites in the
bright,
room. I
actually.
love this.
Chris just picks his favourite cars and puts
Oh,
them
yeah.
in.
I think he's
It
loud.
doesn't matter what the community wants. Chris is just like, put this in.
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
Some players will know what time attack is. It's essentially, if you think about qualifying from racing, just make that into the race itself. So it's all about the fastest lap time. It got really big in Japan in the early 2000s. It kind of transitioned at that point from being a bit of an pro-amateur type thing into full-blown professional motorsport. With teams like Sierra, Cyber Evo, and HKS building very fast, pretty much unhinged race cars, because the regulations, there aren't really any regulations for time attack. Even things like the tyres you use, there was a gentleman's agreement, you use road tyres and not slicks, but it wasn't a hard regulation.
I see, okay.
So yeah, the Sierra Enterprises built this. Its kind of main rival was the Cyber Evo, and they went at it for 2 years. And they were proper game-changing cars to time attack. They kind of brought a real motorsport sort of approach to building these cars. So they had onboard telemetry, kind of even down to the connectors being used for the wiring were all motorsport based, like quick release
Oh,
ones.
okay.
But the reason we have it is kind of a nice little, almost tying into Horizon. We were sourcing some other cars, and it was sitting in the warehouse we were sourcing those cars in. And our photographer recognized it and shot it,
Wow.
thinking it would be of interest to us, and it absolutely was. So the story is after it did those two seasons of time attack. On the second one, it blew a turbo. It never won. I think its best result was second, which is still really impressive. Although if you're Michael, maybe not. It got flown back to the States, but Sierra decided they'd kind of walk away from time attack at that point, and it just sat from that point on with the blown turbo in a warehouse. So yeah, it was a little barn find for us, and we decided the car is now back in running order, I believe.
Well, thank God for that photographer spotting it as well.
Yeah, it was
That's awesome.
one of our best finds, I think, in that sense. We called them shoots of opportunity, and it was a
Oh, I love
definite
that.
shoot of opportunity. So yeah.
And now there's plenty of opportunities for it to be first in a bunch of R races.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, isn't that really awesome?
But yeah, I really love this thing. Hope players do too. It's a fantastic kind of historical piece in time attack.
Wonderful. Right, well, thank you very much for the walkthrough on those car guys. There are lots of racing pedigree, I'm sure you'll agree, ready to hit the track today. And speaking of tracks, it's time to jump into... So this month we are highlighting an event called Dexter's Island Speedway, created by former Golden Tank nominee, and we mentioned him earlier, it's Dexter 4130D. And we're going to get Joe to jump in this one. Hopefully you're going to show it off lovely for us. We're going to get back in the Le Mans as well.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
I'm driving, so hold on.
Can we have a
everyone.
clean sweep stream in which no one crashes?
No, I'll find a way, don't worry. So here, so we've got a track by Dexter. Dexter kind of kind of brings out a lot of tracks, and they're always really nice, high quality tracks. We featured in the playlist a lot, so yeah, you always know it's going to be good. And yeah, this one took our eye, and it's kind of like a half oval. Well, it's a full oval. I think there's a few different layouts that he's got for this, which is quite cool. And this one is it's got like the infield area. I think there might also be like a dirt kind of rallycross version as well.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, if you keep an eye out for Dexter's tracks in the EventLab, kind of in his portfolio on his Creative Hub, you can see the different versions that he's got. But yeah, this one is very cool.
What made this one stand out for you to be the EventLab creation of the month?
Well, I did. Well, Dexter always does make really high quality tracks. This one is, I think it's one of his latest ones as well, and we always keep an eye on the socials. And yeah, he's only just recently kind of posted this, so we were like, this is perfect to bring it up on the stream. It's a shame really, sometimes when we're making the playlists, because we kind of make them in advance, we see all these amazing tracks, but we've already made the playlist, so we're like, oh no, we know they exist, but we're a few months behind. So the EventLab of the month is great for us to kind of highlight these newer tracks that we kind of spot in the community and kind of bring them to the attention of the community. So yeah, this one was really cool. Also looks really nice with this car, I think. The nice red and blue.
Yeah, it pops, doesn't it? Do you want to, can we pull out the camera so we can have a look at some of the other props that they've used?
Yeah, sorry, getting carried away just driving around. It drives so nicely. So yeah, it's always really cool when we've got all the props that people can do to kind of build these tracks up and make them feel very realistic. Yeah, you've got the caravan.
It does, it makes it feel like a full event, doesn't it? It's wonderful.
But yeah, very nicely laid out tracks. Maybe we might have some track pieces for players to look at later, which might make these even better.
Teasing all over the place on this
I'm just
stream.
giving all the one. But yeah, very impressive track. And yeah, players should definitely go and check this out. Like I said, there's different variations. So we've got like I think there's like a rallycross version that players can play through. I think there might be a full like oval version as well. But yeah, awesome.
Amazing. That's really, really good. And if you want to play it yourself, you can check it out right now in the PG Editor's Choice tab in-game, or look it up using the share code shown on the screen right now. And Joe just said it, but it is pretty great to see how EventLab creators are able to build such intricate tracks, right? Now, what if there was a way, perhaps an easier way, to build your dream circuit? Or maybe one of those sprawling city maps we love to see? I think you're going to want to check this out. Boom! Finally, these highly requested road pieces are making their way to EventLab with a total of 23 brand new asphalt pieces. Now, 8 of those you'll see from that picture are flat road pieces, and 15 of them are elevation pieces. But I think what better way to have a look at them than to check them out in-game. So Joe is going to give us a tour of the new pieces and anything else cool you want to add, anything at all.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So like I said, we obviously see a lot of our content creators create tracks. Race tracks are really popular. And we thought it was the perfect opportunity with Apex Allstars to bring some racetrack pieces, both kind of like road and track pieces, so players can just make even better circuits and kind of city layouts. City layouts are also really popular. So as you can see, I kind of put a little layout here.
Here's one I made
together.
earlier.
Here's one I made earlier, yes. And I will jump through the pieces as well. So we updated I think it was before, it might have just been called, it was either just called roads or it was just called racing, but now it says both roads and racing. And you can see we've got lots of different road pieces that players can use. I'll jump through. I think, as you said, we've got, I think it's both track and road pieces. So let me just jump down so we can actually see the piece. Oh, let me. So here we go. So this is one of the road pieces. It's got the like road markings on it. That's just a straight piece. And if I go through, we can see kind of there's a curved piece, a slightly larger, medium curved piece, and then a longer, long curved piece. So yeah, they're just a few of the pieces. We've got junctions, T-junctions. Here we go. We've got, oh no, don't. EventLab, stop it. We've got T-junction and a cross junction. We've got a roundabout. I don't know, do they have...
Can you make all of the Coventry roundabouts? Someone just do... I'm challenging you now, internet. Make me the Coventry roundabout.
Yes.
That'd be sick.
I mean, that's why we added these. That was actually the secret reason we wanted.
We've Trojan horse the idea.
We wanted the recreation of Coventry. It's what the community wants. Yeah, so again... we've already had the oval pieces. We've got one of these pieces, which is like a merge. This goes from the 2 lanes to the 4 lanes. So if players want to create kind of like a highway, let me jump across to the oval pieces. We've got too many pieces now. It takes too long to scroll. So here we go. This is the oval straight. So you can almost have like a, no, hold on 1 second. This is more user error than EventLab, I think.
There we go.
So yeah, you can have like a highway or like a motorway, like we would call it, into the dual lanes. I think I have that over here here we go. So here we've got a little T-junction into a cross junction. And then this goes into like a motorway into an oval track, which you would
That's
obviously
my
expect.
kind of motorway.
Yeah. But
And there are unmarked ones as well. I'm not sure if we had a quick look at those
so let me
just
jump
yet.
those. I mean, they are pretty much just
The same, but without the paint.
Yeah, but when we were talking to Environment Arts, I know we've got the road pieces, and I was kind of like, I think there's a lot of creators that will want to create tracks but won't want all those road markings on it because they'll just want to make it look like a racetrack. So then we added these in, so you can kind of add kind of racetrack pieces and put those together and kind of like. Here we go, a little curve. Oh, you probably don't want to go that way, but like we said, we've got the curves here, the same as the road pieces, so players can kind of build those up and make what they want. Another thing that I'm really excited about, one of the hardest things to do in EventLab is create smooth elevations. So for both the road and the track pieces, we've got elevations. You can see here, this is one that I made earlier, but I was just going to, if I turn over here, give myself some space, we've got, this was a bit of a nightmare naming these because I was trying to figure out what people would understand, but we've got different degrees of both concave and convex ramps. So let me jump across. This is the 5-degree one, and this is the 10-degree one.
Oh, I see, yes, yeah.
And then we've got the 15-degree one. Really exciting stuff here. But it will just really make it easy for players to kind of build those elevation changes. This is, again, both in the road and the track pieces, so you can kind of use whatever you think you need. There's some kind of arced pieces with some camber to them. Lots for players to kind of play around with and test out. I'm very excited to see what they do.
Yeah, the EventLab creation next month is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
Definitely.
And you know what's going to go well with all of these road pieces? Even more cars. So strap in, because we have a brand new car pack with 7 GT racers ready to hit the track. Available from April 23rd, 2024, the Apex Allstars car pack will be available to purchase separate from the Forza Horizon 5 car pass, standard, deluxe and premium editions, and can be found on the Microsoft Store and Steam Store for $9.99 and €9.99 or £7.99p. It includes the 2018 BMW No. 1 BMW M Motorsport M8 GTE, the 2015 Cadillac No. 3 Cadillac Racing ATS VR, the 2018 Mercedes AMG GT3, the 2020 Lexus No. 14 Vasir Sullivan RCF GT3, the 2019 Ferrari No. 62 Risi Competizione 488 GTE, the 2020 Chevrolet No. 3 Corvette Racing C8R, and finally the 2018 Porsche 911 GT3R. Now guys, I need to breathe for a minute, so I want you to tell me what we're going to drive first.
Well, I think we're going to go for the BMW.
Oh, wonderful. The 202. Now I was going to do it all again myself. You tell me what the car it is and why it's good, and let's take it for a spin.
I'm just going to call it the M8 GT because that's what it says on the back.
I wish someone had told me that, my friend.
Very well done on listing all
Thank
those
you,
cars.
thank you so much.
I could not have done that.
No.
So yeah, it's really cool to have all these motorsport cars in here, and they go really well with the Ford GT as well. So yeah, this is a bit different because it's front mid-engined rather than being just like rear mid-engined. And yeah, V8 in this one instead of the V6 like the Ford has, so it sounds good.
Always bring up the Ford, don't you?
Yeah, just trying to compare
can't
everything
get
to
away
the
with
Ford.
it.
Comparison to the GT.
Yeah.
Working with them's incredible. It's like we'll be looking at like, I don't know, like a BMW M3, and it's like, yeah, but compared to the Ford GT.
So yeah, it's got a transaxle just to get the weight balance a bit better, and unlike the Ford, it didn't win at Le Mans.
Wow.
But yeah, this is yeah, it's a good car. I really like the livery, the stock livery on this one as well. It was memed quite heavily when it entered Le Mans because I don't know if you can tell from here, but It is quite large.
It's got a good spoiler as well.
Yeah, it does. But yes, if you do an image search for M8 GTE, yeah, it'll come up with some memes people have made just comparing it to the size of
for everyone.
other things. So, but yeah, it's good, and yeah, it's really good to drive.
Wonderful. And the other car we're going to be looking at from the pack is the 2020 Chevrolet No. 3 Corvette Racing C8R. Who's going to be driving that one? Are you sticking with us, Michael? Do you feel brave?
It's me again.
Oh, you do indeed.
We've had enough of Chris.
Chris has become lazy. He just
He is still here, but
He did drive the drag one earlier very competently.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
I think you can rest on your laurels, actually, Chris. I'm on your side here.
Thank you. I've also just noticed Michael's first fact for this one's great.
Has it got anything to do with a Ford GT?
no.
Really? For once?
No, I managed to shoehorn that in
Oh,
somewhere.
of course. I can't wait.
Yeah, so we've got the Corvette here. So yeah, my first note is terrible because it just says the successor to the C7R.
Who'd have
Which is
thought?
pretty obvious being the
Who'd
C8.
have thought?
But that was a note for me to lead in that it is quite different from the C7 because that was front-engined, but for this one they did switch to mid-engine. So the actual road car version of this as well, they kind of got heavily inspired by some Ferraris out there, let's say that. So they've kind of really changed their philosophy with how they build cars. But yeah, like the BMW, got a V8, but this one's naturally aspirated. Last year was its last year of racing, but it did win at Le Mans in the GTE amateur category, so that was really good.
Nice, yeah.
And that was actually the last year of the GTE regulations, so that set of regulations is no more, so it's just GT3 now. So we have some GT3 cars in this pack and GTE ones. This is really hard to say. But yeah, what we've done is we've tried to make sure that they're all balanced. So GT3s and the GTEs are balanced PI-wise against one another at stock. So out the box, they should be like really good to race against one another. And of course, you've got the usual whole suite of upgrades. So you can take them right up to X category with these.
Wonderful.
Much like the real world, we did our own balance of performance to them. So in the real world, GT and GT3, they're bopped as it's called.
Bopped?
Bopped. Balance of performance.
Wow, okay.
Because they're all supposed to do the same lap time, so we've done that to ours as well.
Okay.
So that, they're all very competitive with each other.
Putting in the hard work. Love it.
Well, I put in the hard work.
Yeah.
Whoa, wow. Don't want to start a fight. Everyone's worked equally as hard as each other. And I think that's it. Thank you for giving us a look at those cars. Remember, folks at home, to keep your eyes out because the Apex Allstars car pack will hit the Horizon Festival on April 23rd, 2024. Now, to wrap things up, I think we should maybe give players a little sneak peek at what's coming up next month. Joe, over to you, because I know this is a goodie.
Yeah, I think we're pretty excited about this. I probably shouldn't say this because Horizon Apex All-Stars is just coming out, but this is probably going to be the best
All of
series
our
ever.
babies are wonderful,
Yeah,
but we're very excited about
love
this
them,
one.
But this one is a pretty special one. Yeah, so it's Horizon Retrowave. It comes out on May 23rd. You can see there, so we've got a new radio station.
Don't do that very much.
No.
I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, some new music for the players. We've got some highway decorations. If players keep an eye on the little icon there, they might get a sneak peek into what's coming. We've got new EventLab props. If the row pieces weren't enough, there's more coming as well.
Even more.
And we've got some very nice new cars coming.
If we hadn't have just added even more. Oh, absolutely spoiling you lot. But with that, we have reached the end of the show. So a big thank you, as always, to our guests on the couch for joining me today and for driving us through the Forza Horizon 5 news this month. We are looking forward to seeing road racers like you rush through Mexico streets at blistering speeds to become Apex All-Stars starting on April 25th. 2024. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We will see you all next time. Everyone, please join me to say adios.